On today's episode, we're going to talk about book reviews and where to find them. Reviews are the lifeblood of any author, and I want to give you my resources on where I found the great people who take the time to read my work. Hello, Liebelings. I'm Madi, science fiction and fantasy author who's been living in southern Germany since 2014. Today, we're going to talk about reviews. Every author needs them because they are one of the best ways to get more readers to even consider your work. A lot of authors are under the misconception that the reviews are about you, the author, and that's not true. Reviews are for readers. The best reviews not only talk about what they liked and not liked about a story, but who they think the ideal reader for this book could be. That way, if you sound like that kind of reader, then maybe that book is for you. And if not, then you know to stay away. But finding people to review your work, especially when you're a debut indie author with little to no platform, is a very steep uphill battle. So I wanted to list the resources I have used to find my reviewers, and at the end of the episode, I'm going to tell you how many emails I had to write in order to get my reviews. But before we get started, hit the subscribe button and ring the bell if you haven't already. Here on Adventures of Lamadi, we talk about writing, living abroad, and everything in between. The first place to look would be with ARC reviewers. It's simply either you send them out through your newsletter or you make a post on social media just saying, hey, I'm looking for ARC reviewers. Then you would create, say, a Google form and ask people to apply through that. That is one of the easiest ways to get started. The next place I go is IndieView, which is a website. There are a list of reviewers. The list is very extensive, and you do have to go through each and every site to even make sure that the reviewers are actually in the process of reviewing and what their requirements are. I did an episode recently on how to approach influencers. I highly recommend you watch it to have an idea of specifically going through a website like IndieView, because each reviewer is going to have their own requirements if you want to apply. And if you don't even follow that, most of the time they won't even bother looking at your email. So you have to take a few minutes, and it's very time consuming. But IndieView is a great place all in one place. My next one is the book blogger list, which is very similar to the IndieView. It's just another website with a list of other bloggers that you can, and book reviewers that you can check out. Next, we have Facebook groups. There are Facebook groups out there that specifically cater to finding reviewers or book swaps. A lot of times that would then require that you also read that person's work. It's, like I said, this is if you're just starting out, sometimes you're gonna have to put in a little bit more of that work. But you can find a lot of great reviewers through Facebook groups. Next is Story Origin. I'm going to apologize if Roxy starts crying. Story Origin recently now requires you to pay, but up until at least while I was recording this video, it was still free. Allows you for newsletter swaps, and also allows you to have your book up for review. I have actually gotten quite a few reviews with them, which is great. So I do recommend checking out Story Origin, or then using BookFunnel. Now that you have to pay, you just have to choose which one, whether Story Origin or BookFunnel is best for you. There's also Booksprout, which is specific to ARC reviews. You can also check them out and upload your work. It will then go into circulation, and people can then choose to go ahead and check out your book. And you especially with the free version, you're only allowed up to 20 ARCs for a story. Honestly, if you're a debut author and you can get 20 people willing to read your book, that's a good number anyway. So, but like I said, if you're starting out and you don't have much of a platform, getting that number is going to be hard, but not impossible. Another place where I've gotten my reviews is through my Street Team. Street Team is a group of people that help you with help spreading the word while you're going through pre-sale. I am going through that as we speak. I have my own Street Team, and part of their challenge is to read the book and also leave reviews. One of the last places you can go through blog tours. I have worked with MLC blog tours on Instagram, and I've also gone through Espresso book tours. They're great. They do cost money, but they are a great way to get exposure. But you have to just see if it's within your budget. But I highly recommend at least checking them out. And the thing is about blog tours, they don't actually have to be for release. The first blog tour I ever did was actually like 3 months after the release of God Queen. And then in fact, with Espresso blog tours, I will be doing another blog tour of the God Queen around the time that the last Imperator is being released. You can do whatever you want. Like, not all this stuff doesn't necessarily have to be even leading up to release. I've gone through Story Origin or Facebook groups even after the release of my book. It's just, the important thing is to keep getting those reviews. And lastly, you have NetGalley, which has partnered with the IBPA, which is the Independent Book Publishers Association. That is a steep price, but that is a very popular place right now for a lot of reviewers to go. But like I said, it's rather expensive. Without any partnership whatsoever, if you're going in alone, it'll cost you about $450 just for a 6-month standard title listing. But if you have the IBPA, a yearly membership with them, it's only $3.99. You have to have IBPA to have like the rest of these tiers. If you are not associated with them, the only option for you is the 6-month placement for $450. But with IBPA, you either have the 6-month, which is at $3.99, 3-month, which is at $199, a category spotlight, which is $100, or a featured placement, which is $110. But again, you have to have IBPA membership, which is also, I can't remember off the top of my head, but I want to say it's like another $150, $200. So again, it is very pricey. It's also not guaranteed that people are going to review your work. But it is, if you have the money for it, if you want to check it out, go for it. It is, yeah, I haven't tried it myself because I haven't worked that into my budget. But I'm just letting you know in case you are interested. If you've made it this far, congrats. Now, when I first approached reviewers for the God Queen, I mostly used IndieView. I wrote 165 emails. 28 of them said yes, and only about 12 wrote reviews. I got more later through blog tours and street teams and Story Origin. But if you have a small platform like I do at the moment, or none at all, which is what I had back when I first published The God Queen, then you have to put your best foot forward when approaching reviewers and influencers, because that's all you have. Like I said, I have a video that I made recently about how to approach these folks if you want to have an idea of what I did. The biggest takeaway I can give from this episode is that you need to persevere in this industry. Don't give up. You have to put up so much effort for what feels like very little reward, but it will pay off. You just have to keep going. And that's it. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here, please consider subscribing, give this video a thumbs up. It lets me and YouTube know that you like this kind of content and you want to see more. Please leave me a comment if you have any questions or if there's a certain topic you would like to see on this channel. If you want fun escapism, my space fantasy The God Queen is available in ebook, paperback, and hardback, and the sequel The Last Imperator is also available for pre-order. What's up? And also, don't forget to sign up for the TLI presale giveaway. If you sign up for my newsletter, you'll get the first 6 chapters of The God Queen, as well as the prequel short story The Knight and the Goddess, so sign up. And I also want to remind you to please leave reviews to your favorite authors, myself included. They really help us out, and it is free to do so. And don't forget to connect with me on social media, whether it is through Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook. And that's it. Until next time, adi!